Hey everybody, it's Road Toad Racing. Uh, Hope everybody's having a good day. Uh, if you watched my last video, you saw where I picked up that Briggs Stratton oppy, and instead of selling Darth Raider, I was gonna swap out that Predator and put in an oppy. Uh, I've been out here. This is the third night now. Didn't get a lot of work done last night because, oh man, was it cold out here. Had the kerosene heater going in here and my little electric one going. It blows heat on me, and it was just brutal. I didn't get much done out here. It just got too cold. I didn't really film any of it. Didn't see the need. It's just tear down. We've all torn these apart. So, I've mocked up the motor once, kind of sat it in there, figured a few things out, what I needed to do to make it fit. Had to order some parts, things like that. Yeah. So, I guess without any further ado, I'll flip you guys around here and show you what we found out so far and where we're going. We'll start with the oppy first. So let's take a look at that bad boy. Alright, so she's sitting here. She's a little dirty, from being in a tractor. And actually, I'm not even sure that this was in a tractor. The guy told me it was. The guy he got it from, took it on trade, parted that tractor out, whatever. I think this motor may have come out of one of those 6x6s, those floating fiberglass tub things. Just from some of the brackets that were on it, I've noticed in some videos about these engines that this had those same unique type of brackets on it. So I'm thinking that's where this engine originally came from. I could be wrong, but who knows. But anyways, I'm going to rock the stock carb for now. I did notice in my research here, I was laying around researching carburetors and stuff today. A lot of people will switch to a Kohler pumper carb on these. That's probably what I'll end up doing in the future. These are kind of, in a way, a little bit like a pumper carb. But one thing I do know that I have learned is there's multiple carburetors for these engines. And one is really expensive to get parts for. And the way you can tell is on the other side of this diaphragm box, which is kind of works as a pumper in a way. If you have 4 screws on it, you got the one that's really expensive to get rebuild kits and parts for, and they're kind of tough to find. I've got the 4 bolts. So, this carb works. We'll see how well it works once I get it in here and start running it a lot, but till then, we're going with it. I do have a little bit of an oil leak now, and this is my fault. Totally my fault. Down here on the oil filter housing, right here, it has that sensor for the low oil pressure switch that would kill the motor. Yeah, I banged it off the frame, and now I bent it and it's dribbling just a little bit. So I'm either just going to plug that up. Well, I want to get an oil filter relocation kit. I want to move this filter because, pulley's going to be right here, your belt, all around it. I'd like to move this. So we'll see what I do there. Either I'll plug that off or I'll get some copper line and run down to Advanced Auto Parts and get an actual oil pressure gauge. and do that. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like this motor was meant to fit on this tractor. Even the drain plug, that extension there, fits just right outside the frame rail perfectly. It's perfect. I ordered spark plug boots. I don't have those. Yeah. So I mean, there's the motor. Everything seems good there. This front motor mount, which is right under there, I got a bolt in it. It fits right in here. And with it being in right there, it's too narrow to fit on the frame. So I went and picked up this big piece of angle iron to extend it out. I'll extend the frame out, make it wider, like so. And then I can build a plate and bolt the motor in. So I gotta get this cut. I'm gonna bolt it in for now, and then we'll go from there. But I want to get things in and mocked up. Yeah, so there's the motor. Oh, one other thing with the motor. The cylinder head is just barely clearing the stock stock battery tray. So, I mean, it's close. It almost touches, but it fits. I mean, I could bend that a little bit. And we'll see if it gets the battery too warm. You know, I'll move the battery or get a smaller battery or something. We'll worry about that down the road. Let's see here. The electronics. When I tore everything down, this is where all my electronics were. This is where my fuse box was. This is where my wire relay was. My harness come up through here. And my start switch. This was my engine kill switch. That down there was my pull tether kill. That's my choke, obviously. That hole there, and there's another one over here in the corner, was my rocker switches for my headlight and my neons. That's what this is up under here, is a LED red lights. Probably gonna have to put the gas tank in here for now, just to get things running, driving, and make sure, you know, everything works right. But to do that, my hood latches here, I have to take them out because these bolts, they hit the tank, because I mean, those tanks barely fit in here. So put the stock tank back in. I'm probably gonna have to take these out. Kind of sucks, because I'd like to keep my electronics up here, keep them out of the way, and I kind of want to build a better box up here for waterproofing and stuff like that. Plus, that's also where I keep my controller for the winch. That thing's pretty big, so this is my headlight harness and LED light harness. I made all my harnesses independent and loomed everything, but these are the only two that I can save and gonna reuse, and this is all the one for the winch. There's the winch and the bumper. There's my hood. It's just hanging out. I am gonna have to cut the hood to clear the one cylinder head on the other side, so I'm gonna have to do like a notch over and then down. Not too bad. So another change will be I'm gonna flip-flop. I want to put my brake out here. I'm still gonna use these hydraulic brakes, just gotta move it over. I'm gonna put my throttle over here. Main reason I want to do that is because that's how the Blue Mule is, and I would just like both of these to be the same just for continuity and familiarity with, you get in a situation, you don't panic and hit the throttle instead of the brake. So there's that. Once I get that angle iron on here and get the motor set in, mocked up, I'm going to get this axle ripped out. I'm going to put in an XI axle just like the Blue Mule has. I have another one here. It's just too cold and shitty outside to bring that in, and I have to move tractors around to get stuff out of here because I have a carport that's up against this building on the outside that's got tractors and stuff in there to keep them out of the weather, but I have to move all those out. The Blue Mule, my XIs. Now I gotta go tow my other XI in, and yeah, and it's almost 1 in the morning. I ain't gonna do that tonight. So probably tomorrow we'll get that done. I also want to swap the tires. I'm going to put these tires on my 1XI that I use for plowing snow. And I got another set of XI rims, which are wider than these rims. And the back spacing off them kicks the tires out farther. So I want to put wider, bigger tires on this. So these tires will work great for plowing snow. So that's that plan there. Yeah, so we're going to be rocking some turfs for a bit. These front tires, they're going to go on that XI2 as well for plowing snow. I have another set of tires here. I believe they're 20s. They're the same tires that are on Blue Mule, just a little smaller, but I do believe they're bigger than these. But I have them. They're knobbier. They grab better than these will. So we're just going to put those on. Yeah, I mean, so I didn't film the teardown process. I didn't see the need in that. Somebody watching me unbolt a motor and cutting wires out. That was just kind of dumb. So that's where I've made it to so far. And well, there's the Predator. I did take the exhaust off because I'm keeping that. But if anybody wants it, $350. Good Predator. Like maybe 60 hours on it. Thing runs great. Yeah, I did order some parts. I ordered new replacement clutch pulleys. If you watched my last video, well, you can tell how loud it is on the Blue Mule. That baby's howling. She's just, them bearings are done. This one, it was starting to howl too. So it's just time to replace them. So we'll get those changed when they come. I had to order spark plug boots for this engine. What else did I order? Oh, new starter solenoid. I had this one laying around. It works, but I'd rather get a new one. So I ordered one of those. Actually, I ordered a 5-pack of them. They're cheap enough. What else did I order? I can't think offhand. Just a bunch of stupid little stuff that I needed. So that stuff should be here in a couple of days. So I'm kind of waiting on that too. What else here? I'm kind of like at a standstill. I want to be able to move this around in and out tomorrow, so I can get my XI in here, get these back tires flip-flopped. Then I want to pull the axle out of this one. Well, maybe I can do that tonight. Maybe I'll pull the axle out of this tonight and have it ready to go. So then tomorrow I'll have to do it outside, but I can pull those tires off, the rear tires, swap them, pull the axle off the XI, and then throw this axle under the XI so I can move it around. That's probably what I'll do. Yeah, for as I was saying, the fuel tank, probably gonna have to put the stock one in there, just to get things running. Uh, I don't know what else to do. I mean, you're limited on space here. I mean, these are gonna have to go. My hood latches, because the bolts, they're in the way. Can't put the fuel tank in. But at least I'll get it running for now. I'm probably gonna have to build a big back bumper, just like Blue Mule. Get one of them big aluminum fuel tanks, put it on the back, get an electronic fuel pump so I can pump fuel up to the motor. But till then, we'll run a stock tank. Just gonna have to figure out how to keep the hood down. Might have to remake the dash to do that, just to clear some of the electronics. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to pull my belt guides off, and footboard off, because I want to get in there, change that pulley. We're gonna have to pull these belt guides off, so I'm gonna have to make new ones. Pulley locations changing with the oppy. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at a standstill tonight. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my wiring, gas tank. Maybe I just leave the gas tank in up here. Build some sort of little, I don't know, wiring compartment under here that flips up. Because these back fenders, they flip up on the Raider. So maybe I could just put it down in there, build a nice box, put all my wiring in there, or maybe I build something underneath here and put my wiring all in here. I don't know, I haven't decided. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. They're really my main issues is fuel tank and wiring, where I'm going to put it, which is going to decide a lot. So I'm kind of playing around, doing a lot of small things tonight. I didn't get much done last night out here. It was just too damn cold. I couldn't get this place to heat up for nothing. Night before that, it was cold, but it wasn't as cold. I was able to get the bulk of the work done 2 nights ago. So, yeah, I'm just at a point now where piddling around, doing little things. Like the pulley, I got it holy pulley modded. It was never done before. Now this is the pulley that was on the Predator. So I mean, again, it's just a lot of these little things I never got done. So I got that done. Yeah, making progress. It's just little stupid things that I don't really see the need to film and show how I'm doing that. Yeah. So once I get this in, running, testing, make sure the engine works, thing runs, drives. Of course there's going to be some little tweaking you're going to have to do. But once I get it to there, that's when we're going to split the tractor and get this rear end out. Like I said, I believe this is a 10 pinion, just the way that rear end acts. Sometimes both spin, sometimes it's one. It's weird how it reacts, so I'm thinking it's a 10 pinion. I'm kind of actually hoping it's not, because they're kind of a pain to weld and lock. But either way, once we get that running dry, we're going to pull that out, get that diff welded up. Also going to brace the transaxle plate and the skid plate. It's something that never got done on this tractor. Wanted to, just never got around to it. I won't be surprised if when I take this transaxle off, we see that there's cracks in that back plate. There was a bunch on Blue Mule. If you guys seen videos, or well, you might not have seen videos on that, because I don't think I posted that. I might have. But it was cracked up so bad that we actually had to cut that plate out. And I went and bought 1/4-inch steel plate and we made a whole new plate, welded it in there. So I'll have to take this to my buddies that welded my last dip, because I don't have a welder that can weld thick enough stuff. And if that's the case, we can fix that then, because I think we'll just load this up and take it to his house, because then I want to have him weld that angle iron piece on the frame across there. So yeah. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I mean, it's nothing too glamorous or exciting, you know, so that's why I didn't film a lot of it. I just didn't see the point in you guys watching me unbolting the motor and cutting wires again. So that's where we're at. I do have to see if I can find my wire hold down piece for the fuel tank. I know I got a couple of them here somewhere. I just don't know where they are. I'll have to do some digging. If not, there's always zip ties. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, yeah, well, how I said it was so cold out here. You might have noticed that I was wearing a t-shirt. And it's hot in here. Like I said, it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning here. That might be even after 1. That baby, I scored that baby today. And oh man, what a difference. I was looking this morning on Marketplace and stuff, see if I could find some sort of heat for out here. And it doesn't help this isn't insulated. I'm not going to insulate this building. I'm hoping this summer I want to get a 14 by 30 shed brought in. The Amish around here build really nice ones, really good price. Metal roof, it's kiln dried wood. So I want to probably just knock this down, so I don't want to spend a bunch of money in it. And if I do get the other one in, well, it's not an if, it's just a matter of when. I got to get the spot for it prepped, trees cut down, and make room, run electric. There's a whole process to it, you know. I got to upgrade my electrical service to 200 amp so I can run out and not, you know, a branch, or what do you want to call it? Basically a second breaker box. So that way I can run things out there and put a wood burner in, you know, just a lot bigger. It's going to have doors on the side, long ways, so I can fit 3 tractors in wide, have all the room to work on them. Yeah, but anyways, so I was saying though, is I picked that bad boy up today. It's one of the Mr. Heaters, propane heater, and it is actually hot in here. I mean, it's hot. So that thing works great. Picked it up for $40. Guy had it on Marketplace, and he actually had a whole entire truckload of them. Truck wrecked a couple weeks ago up here on 80 in that snowstorm we had, and he does recovery and stuff, and insurance wrote the load off, so he's selling them for $40 on Marketplace. So I went and got one. I mean, brand new in the box. Box was a little dinged up, but nothing even poked through the box. Brought it home, slapped it together, and hooked her up, and boom. It's got 3 settings. Right now it's on high. Yeah, I mean, this thing it's cooking me. So that's awesome. So now I can get more work done out here. Won't be freezing like I was before. So yeah, I mean, there she is, sitting there, bare boned. We're getting her prepped for the swap, and should have things going by tomorrow. Yeah, so follow along if you guys are so inclined. Like I said, hope to have this I'd like to have this running tomorrow. It'd be nice to start this up, have that motor mounted, get the gas pedal hooked up, you know. I don't know if it'd be driving tomorrow, but boy, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that I could get that far. It just depends how motivated I get in the morning, you know. So, yeah, we're making good progress. So, if you guys are interested, follow along. You know, send me a like, comment if you guys got any ideas, suggestions. I hardly know anything about these oppies, so if anybody's got advice on them, things I should do to them, help them perform better, by all means, drop me a comment. I'll answer. You know, glad to take any advice on these. So, appreciate you guys. Until next time, it's Road Toad Racing. See you later.